The sun does not simply set on the Holy Land. It bleeds. It spills across the sand like the wine of a broken covenant, staining the horizon in hues of crimson and gold. I stand here, on the jagged edge of a world that wants me forgotten. My hauberk is heavy with the dust of 1,000 leagues, and my tabard, once a brilliant white marked with the blood-red cross, is now a tapestry of grime, sweat, and the scars of 100 sieges. They told me this path would be paved with glory. They lied. It is paved with the bones of the faithful and the silence of the abandoned. But as the shadows lengthen, I realize that glory was never the goal. Sanctification was. They are coming. I can hear the rhythmic thrum of their horses, a low thunder that shakes the very marrow of my bones. They outnumber my resolve 1,000 to 1. They carry banners of steel and voices of mockery, shouting that my God has turned his face away, that the sunset is my shroud, and the desert will be my unmarked grave. My brothers have fallen to my left and my right. I am the last sentinel of this ridge, a lone iron nail holding up a collapsing sky. The world calls this a tragedy. The Lord calls it a testing. Do not mistake my stillness for exhaustion. Do not mistake my silence for surrender. A proverb for the dying light. The wolf relies on his pack, but the Lion of Judah relies on his word. I have seen the vanity of kings and the hollow promises of empires. I have seen men trade their souls for a handful of silver and a moment of safety. But a crusader of the light knows a truth that the world cannot grasp. You cannot kill a man who has already died to himself. You cannot break a spirit that has been tempered in the fires of the Holy Spirit. Every drop of sweat that falls into this dry earth is a prayer. Every ache in my joints is a verse. My sword is not merely steel. It is an extension of a will that commanded the stars into being. When I swing it, I do not swing for land or for gold. I swing for the widow, the orphan, and the silent dignity of the truth. I am the wall that the dark must break against. I am the savage sunset personified, the beautiful, violent end of an era of lies. They think the dark is their ally. They think that when the sun dips below the dunes, my strength will fail. But they do not know the light I carry. It is not a light that comes from a star 93 million miles away. It is a light that was birthed in a tomb 3 days after the world thought it was extinguished. It is a light that burns hotter when the surroundings grow colder. Let the night come. Let the inferno open its mouth to swallow the horizon. I am the gatekeeper of the ridge, and I have been commanded to hold. Listen to the proverb of the iron. The hammer does not hate the steel, it loves it. It strikes to remove the weakness, to shape the edge, to make the blade fit for the king's hand. If you are hurting tonight, if the weight of your cross is crushing your shoulders into the dirt, remember that you are under the hammer of a master craftsman. You are being shaped for a battle you cannot yet see. You are being prepared for a dawn that will never end. The sunset is just the furnace door closing so the heat can do its work. To the mockers at the gates, your triumph is a shadow that disappears when the sun goes down. To the faithful in the trenches, your victory is a sunrise that is already written in the stars. We do not fight for victory. We fight from victory. The outcome was decided on a hill called Skulls long before we drew our first breath. We are simply the messengers of that finality, dressed in iron and grit. The first horseman has reached the crest of the hill. I can see the reflection of the dying sun in his eyes. I raise my shield, the shield of faith, scarred but unbroken. I grip the hilt of my sword, the word that cuts through bone and marrow. I do not feel fear. I feel a holy, savage joy. For if this is the end of my day, it is the beginning of my eternity. If this is the sunset of my life, it is the sunrise of my glory. I am a soldier of the cross. I am a child of the King. I am the storm that the dark didn't see coming. Stand firm, Keep your lamp trimmed and burning. Stay savage.